Billy Show, lunchtime, thanks to Rudy's Barbecue, home of the green chili stew, and a place that Louie will be hitting at about 1:05 today. Hey, 11 to 1 on Wednesday. I get done. I got to get a lunch today. Man, I forgot to eat breakfast. That's one of the dumbest things I can do. The Louie Bellina Show presented by CC Electric, built on faith, family, and community. Wednesdays, 12 o'clock. We're joined inside the Charles Schwab studio by one Tony Catalina of the Austin American Statesman. One Tony Catalina, also known as a Bluebell junkie, I think is the best way to describe it. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How are you?
I want to start by giving you all the credit in the world. And we talked NFL draft, Aggies NFL draft the whole time. And you're one, keep your eye on, you're one, people tell me was Tyler Onyedem. Mm-hmm. And he started off, because I follow the mock draft world and read stuff, and 5, but then he was a solid 4, maybe a 3. And you kept going, hey, he's probably going to go at least a round, if not 2 rounds higher. These are the people I talk to. They're like, watch this tape, talk to him. He'll probably go 2 rounds higher, 2nd round draft pick.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things where that he is exactly what the transfer portal is meant to do when you think about it in the right way. He came in after playing at Iowa State, playing the Big 12, wanted to come back to Texas. He's born and raised Texas kid. Wanted to play at A&M, be closer to his family, step up in competition a little bit, and he was just fit right into the system. Played a little 4-eye, played a little interior 3 there for Mike Elko, and it worked out for A&M's defense, and it worked out for his draft stock. And when you're talking about, hey, you can come here and we'll boost your draft stock, what a recruiting pitch that is. And then a kid to come in and solidify the middle of the unit, it's just a really good thing all around there.
I thought the entire draft was a testament to come here, get drafted. Now, yeah. I also believe that the way this works is many schools can say that, but it starts with money first, and now the other things that used to be like 1st, 2nd, and 3rd become relevant because everyone's going to bid on the same tier.
Sure.
It's like you have to be in this zip code financially, and there'll at least be 4 schools, though, that are all the same when you're bidding on these players.
Yeah.
Then do you have the facilities? Then how much food do you have? Then can you put me in the league? Then will you compete for championships? Then proximity to home. All the things that used to be, because if you go back, I don't know if it was 10 or 20 years ago, location to home used to be the number one thing. Kids stayed home.
Yeah.
So your state was number one. And then facilities became important, right? Mm. Those things are all still because the bidding tiers, no school just outright buys a kid. That's 1 in X, right?
Sure.
There's at least 2 to 3 other schools all fighting on the same bidding tier. Yeah. Then it becomes, can you put a kid in the league? Do you compete for championships? This kid doesn't want to go 1 in 11.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right. The money is there. The money's always going to be there. All these programs have donors. They have people that back them up financially. So as long as you value the kid, you can get within swinging range of a dollar figure. Then it becomes about, like you mentioned, all the things you said. What can you do for me? Where can you develop me? Where can you see, how can I benefit by coming here? And that's kind of what it is. These kids are free agents, right? These are kids a lot of times, for a lack of a better term, a mercenary, right? They're coming in and it's 1 year, and what can we do for each other to mutually benefit? And Tyler Onyedem personally is a good kid, great kid with the media, a little shy, but I think it was like endearing. But at the same time, the kid could play football, and he came here and understood what they could do for him. Now, when you look at it from the program side of things, Mike Elko, look how many defensive linemen they've had go in the draft in the last couple of years. Like, I think it's a clear path here to say, if you're a pass rusher, if you're an interior guy, like, we can get you drafted. Shamar Stewart, Shamar Turner, Nick Scorton, Cassius Howell, Tyler Onyedem, Albert Regis. Like, that's in the last 2 years. Like, there's other positions, they're going to feel good about it too. But at the same time, Casey Concepcion, 1st-round pick, guy went from North Carolina State to the SEC to an award winner and a 1st-round selection. So Elko, this is what he said. He called the shot too. He said we're going to get 10 or 12 guys drafted. They got 10 on the button and a few more in the free agency. I think they hit it out of the park.
Well, his first offensive line class, because he couldn't put any in the draft last year.
Sure.
And he put all 4.
Yeah.
Come on, he put all 4.
Yeah.
The testament, and if you can get a rep as your lineman, not just D or O, but your linemen all go in the league, and you're playing the SEC, and football's a line of scrimmage game, and you're in a line of scrimmage league, that's not a bad rep to have. I mean, that's and look at that 27 class. They got the 5-star offensive lineman over the weekend. They've got the top 3 offensive tackles in the state of Texas. All are committed to A&M right now, right? For the 27 class. Mm-hmm. They've got things rolling. And how do you, after 11-win season, that's a breakout season in Aggie football history, not just for you, Mike Elko, how do you not step back is when you have things kind of rolling at this level. Maybe it's too soon for 26, but how do you get to the point where every year you're winning 10 games? And in a 24-team expanded college football playoff, if you win 10 games every year, you're in the college football playoff every year.
Yeah, and
this is the how. This is what it looks like.
100%. And I think that's why we'll talk about this all summer, is just how important this season is, right? Because we had shown that they can do it. There's natural progression, to get into double-digit wins in your second season, playing in the playoffs. Can you stay here? Now are you a perennial? Are you in this system? Are you in this position every single year? And I think that's where you could see it go from a flash in the pan to a consistent slow burn, where this is a team and this is a program that's going to continually be in that space. Now, looking at it right now, it's easy to say in the offseason, there's no reason to believe that there's anything that this can't stay in this trajectory. But, these recruits and these kids that are coming in, if they get the number one class and they keep continuing to get top 10 classes, it's got to produce on the field. But, you feel good about the position they're in. With
the draft, we mentioned Tyler Onyedem, but kind of wasn't almost every player a testament to the development, the identification by the staff that they did? Because Nate Berkacher was a second-round pick.
Yeah.
And even there should have been, if you go by the mocking and the NFL draft analyst experts, there kind of should have been about 4 on days, that Friday.
Sure.
But there were 6. Mm-hmm. And they went higher. There should have been like 4, with 3 of them maybe going in the third round. No. There was 4 in the second round, 6 total. Like everything exceeded. Like the NFL experts, the people that actually do the scouting and the people that were there, their careers are on the line by doing the picks, all picked the Aggies higher.
Yeah. And so first off, you take that in a vacuum and say, that's a testament to the players, right? How they look on film, how they interview, and how they test is ultimately what gets them drafted. But what it says about this program when you got a guy like Nate who can be there for 1 year, show development, show progress, that they believe that he's worthy of a second-round pick. A guy like Tyler Onyedem switches schemes, comes in Mike L's defense, and really flashes who he is, and he goes earlier. That's something to be said about the way Mike Elko is building his program, because a lot of these conversations, you see these scouts out at practices, you see these scouts at different games, they're talking to coaches, they're talking to general managers, and they're talking to people and saying, like, if we go and get an A&M guy, we feel good about the whole body of work, what it looks like, what his character is. And so it's hard to come out of this period, this draft window, and say that they haven't done everything they expected to at this point.
If you have a question for Tony Catalina of the Austin American Statesman, text 979-693-1150. And you can light up the Texas Mobile and Loop Express inbox, and I will gladly, happily share your questions with them. 979-693-1150. It's going to be interesting. Let's go next year's draft. And I saw you on Twitter, X.
Yeah.
You said you've already been talking about scouts. What's the number one name the scouts have been popping at you?
I didn't expect it, but it was Dalton Brooks. And so obviously tremendously talented. I think part of his issue is safeties don't get valued the same way as other positions. Like, it's like a running back where almost like they get knocked down a peg just by the position they play. People are focused on quarterbacks and wide receivers and pass rushers, but safeties are important. A lot of times they're the leader of your defense. Dalton Brooks is going to be a captain this year, one of the guys who are going to be a key piece. And when I asked, I didn't set it up at all. The couple of the scouts that I spoke to, I said, Give me 5 names, and both of them said Dalton Brooks first, and then obviously there's some Mario Craver and people that the names that we know, but Isaiah Horton. But for both of them to lead off of Dalton Brooks was something that was like an antenna raised for me.
I was talking about it Monday, like who if you can pick one Aggie, and I'll give this to you, if you could pick one Aggie to be the first round pick next year for A&M, who's it going to be?
It's a great question, because
I asked one great question a month and I used it on you. Oh, man.
How's this? This tells you how bullish I am on him and what it can be and what he could end up developing from a pedigree and a play stand place. Right now, give me DJ Hicks.
Ooh, okay.
So he's somebody who is slowly but surely gotten better every single year. They've had other veteran pieces in front of him.
Does he enter the draft this year, or is he 2 years?
Well, I guess it depends how good he plays, right? Like,
gotcha.
One of those things where if it doesn't go the way he wants to, maybe he gets different advice and he sticks around. But, DJ Hicks is a guy who 5-star pedigree at an important position in the interior. I'd argue he's more athletic than Albert Regis, and Albert Regis tested insanely well at the combine. Bigger, probably a little stronger. He's a guy. He's like a young kid who almost doesn't even realize how good, physically freakish and talented he is. And I think some of the NFL scouts see that as well. Big year for him, important year for him. But if you're gonna pin a tail on somebody, I think right now it's probably DJ.
I said Mario Craver.
It's fair.
I thought, and look, I have a lot of years and beers under me, so some things get a little hazy, but I thought at one point he trended, or I saw a mock that had him like first this year, this past year, until he got hurt. Sure. He was an All-American.
Yeah.
Okay?
No doubt about it.
That was the path he was on. So a healthy Mario Craver, a more dedicated passing game under Holman Wiggins that we've heard, right?
Yeah, right.
This isn't Lou just, I'm not imagining,
no,
right?
No, you're not.
A more dedicated passing game and a 12 to hopefully 14, 15 game A&M season, and Craver is healthy. He could push himself into the first round. So I look at the team, and I guess I took Mario Craver.
Yeah, I think that's the leader in the clubhouse. If I was going to go chalk and say who do I think is safely probably the first round guy, I think it's Mario Craver. He's a talented guy. He's different. He's dynamic. He can do different things. I mean, we're probably going to see him as a punt returner, as a kick returner guy, somebody who's going to have different special teams options. He's going to, with the ball in his hand, as long as he stays healthy, he's going to be everything that we thought he was last year and probably more. With that being said, like we just saw his teammate go, and there were times last year where Mario looked like the guy, right? As good as KC was, Mario was like the wow sometimes. So, I mean, if they get 2, maybe 3 guys, I wouldn't be surprised by that.
And then after that becomes the fascinating part. Which transfer players is A&M football and Ilk and his staff going to transfer into first or second round pick? Because that's coming in. Did you think Casey Concepcion was a first-round pick? We knew what his potential was, but first round, the answer is no. Let's be honest about this. Was Cassius Howell a second-round pick? You identified him as a stud early on, but to say, he's a first-round pick is even bold for you, Cotton.
Sure.
It's rough like that. So is it going to be Saka? We sure hope so.
Yeah.
So you can't, but who will? Like, I'm giving Elko and his staff so much credit. One of those guys will. Like, of all these, there's someone in this class that they got that's going to be a first or second round pick.
Yeah, and so
it's going to.
I'm surprised. I think Sacco was the second name I was thinking of. I mean, a pass rusher. He's a man amongst boys. Like we got a chance to talk to him a couple of weeks ago in the spring. Full grown man. This guy looks like he's 35 years old. So he's just like big, strong, physical. Just he understands it. He has like this demeanor about him where it's just business, and I think that's really fascinating for a college kid who's just walking into a building for the first time. But for me, I don't know why he's getting more conversation is Isaiah Horton. I mean, Isaiah Horton, 6'4", a guy who played at Miami, played at Alabama, had 8 touchdowns last year, has a really long, deep history with Marcel Reed playing 7-on-7 together as kids from Nashville. I mean, he's everything that they needed as an X-receiver. You saw the ascension of KC and you saw Mario. This kid is like the pure, truest form of an X-wide receiver. Put him out there, let him win 50-50 balls. He can run in cuts. He can run, go up and get the football. There's a chance that he could have just as big of an impact as some of these other guys that we've seen.
I'm down with that. Look, again, I'm down with it. A lot of these wide receivers value. Could A&M have 2 wide receivers taken in the first round, or we'll go with the first 2 rounds?
Sure.
Ask Marcel Reed.
Yeah. I mean, he did it last year. I mean, think about it. I remember that one of the first times we talked to KC, he was like, he talked about the public perception, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but he's just like, oh, this is the quarterback everybody says who can't throw the football. And then I go and see him throw, and I'm like, what are they talking about? He can throw the football. Fast forward a full year, now we got a first-round pick, and we got a tight end who went in the second round, and you got all these offensive pieces who are going early and coming here to build the draft stock. And I was like, wait a minute. Maybe Marcel isn't as bad as the general public tries to paint him out to be. I mean, Isaiah Horton, I had a conversation, talk with him, and he was like, man, I wanted to come here because I knew I can help. I knew in that Miami game that I could have been that red zone presence. I knew I could have been that person that could have went up and got that football, and maybe the outcome of that game changes if I'm out there. So you get 2 guys who are buddies long time, and one of them supremely talented, and the other quarterback, I think, has a lot of growth and a lot of potential to be even better, and I think that's a perfect recipe in this year.
Let's grab a timeout, come back. We got to talk, Aggie baseball, ice cream, and more.
Let's go.
Tony Catalina, the Austin American Statesman, joins me inside the Charles Schwab studio. It's kind of like an every Wednesday thing here on the Louie Bellina Show. Low cost, full service, best of all local, that's Schwab. And how could something like Charles Schwab be local? Like, that's New York, right? Or L.A. Because we got Mark Sim, and he's right here. Eat here, sleep here, breathe here. He goes to the games, too. Mark Sim's right here in College Station. Find him online. Schwab.com/College Station. Charles Schwab and Company Incorporated. They're a member of that SIPC.
You can get the podcasts of Texans Live, The Louie Bellina Show, or Chip Howard at Zone1150.com, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
The Louie Bellina Show. It is Wednesday. Hanging out with Tony Catalina of the Austin American Statesman. He joins me inside the Charles Schwab studio. It is the Louie Bellina Show. Lunchtime. Whew. I can't wait. I think I'm about 50 minutes away from hitting Rudy's Barbecue. I'm starving, dude. Starving. And speaking of starving, Tony... he's not from here, but he's been here a while now. He's starting to get the ways of the life in Texas. He does enjoy some barbecue, but also Bluebell ice cream right down the road in Brenham. And each week he's been trying a new flavor. And are you 4 down now?
This is 5.
Right, 4 down. This will be the fifth one.
The fifth one, exactly.
And last week, this is not a coincidence. You talk about subliminal. You talk about getting stuck in your head. Last week. People texting and Tony, we got into the world of all the chocolate ice creams that Bluebell had. And whoa, what happened this week?
Yeah. It's in my subconscious. I had to grab the Dutch chocolate. And I made a conscious decision because I saw the chocolate and then I saw the Dutch chocolate. And I went with it because I remember somebody who wrote in said, hey, this is the one. And somebody else told me that's one of the best flavors. And to be honest with you, I don't disagree, right? That jarred it. I mean, all right. So let me preface with this. Groom's cake is still sitting on the throne for me.
Okay, so it's still number 1.
Still number 1. I think Dutch chocolate is number 2 now. And that's maybe how bland and simplistic I am at sometimes, that I don't need the bells and whistles of pecans and almonds and this and that, even though Groom's cake is my favorite. Just give me a good chocolate ice cream, and I think they hit that out of the park.
Can you tell me what is the difference between a chocolate and a Dutch chocolate? What makes it Dutch? Is there a wooden shoe in it?
My understanding, and I can be corrected if somebody wants to write in, I feel like it's a richer, more like complex chocolate. I feel like it's just something that's just, it's got another note or two that I am not qualified to speak on.
So you might be a phenomenal writer.
Yeah.
And you might love your Cowboys and your Aggies and all, but on the different mouthfeels of chocolate, maybe not so much.
I'm not an ice cream connoisseur at this point in time, specifically chocolate. You know, if Bluebell wants me to come in and learn so I can, I can teach better.
So Bluebell wants to bring you in for ice cream tasting, understanding classes. You're down.
I'm in. Let me give me a spoon and just tell me what notes I should, taste and feel on my tongue. But no, I mean, I think it's a little complex, and you've had chocolate. I mean, we've all had chocolate ice cream before. It just
my favorite's vanilla. I like all of
vanilla guy.
Vanilla, French vanilla, golden vanilla. I love vanilla.
Yeah, I'm a vanilla guy, and I might, whenever I hit like the 100th whatever, I might just do vanilla just to reel me back in, to bring me back down to earth. Like, I've done so many of them, but no, I'm a vanilla guy. But that Dutch chocolate is excellent, and I think I had the Groom's cake at a 4.5. I think this is going to be a 4.1.
Ooh,
not
close,
bad.
So close.
Yeah, it's right there.
If anybody who's hanging out with us here on the Zone 1150 AM and 93.7 FM wishes to be of assistance, what is the Dutch part of Dutch chocolate? What gives it the mouthfeel or whatever Tony can't explain at all? Oh, that's the best part. Makes it Dutch and not just chocolate. It would be of assistance. And if we would greatly appreciate it.
I need to know if I'm right, that there is some more complexities to it. Maybe just a little.
There has to be.
Yeah, something on the back of the tongue, not the front of the tongue. So maybe just something a little different there. But
what makes it Dutch? That's all we need to know. What gives it the differentiation from just chocolate? No.
And they don't describe it. We could see the picture right there.
Tony, by the way, Tony tells us in advance what he tried. He posts a photo of the pint when he buys it. What's your Twitter X?
Tony_Catalina.
Tony_Catalina each week. And that's how I know in advance. I see that. I'm like, ooh, okay.
I got to set the table, right? And we're in show business. I think everybody.
That's what this is?
Yeah, everybody wants to know what the ice cream of the week is. I'm just here for the people.
Don't look at the guy in the corner. For the next trick, we have Dutch chocolate coming up on Wednesday.
Somebody give me a recommendation what should be for my next one. I'm honestly like I'm just
You're too susceptible.
Yeah.
Someone said Dutch chocolate. Bam, you
that's
went
it.
to Dutch
It was in my
chocolate.
subconscious, right? Like I'm a people pleaser. What can I say?
Oh, that works so good. Dutch chocolate. Anyway, so 4-1, and your scale's to 5 is what
5.
we're doing?
Yeah, we're going to 5. 5
and then-
scoops.
And it's now in your number 2 spot.
Number 2.
Okay, here's what I want you to do. If you have time. I know you're a
Sure.
busy guy. You need to send me the 5
Yep.
and the numbers you have. And
Got it.
I'm going to build.
Yeah.
And I'll keep it.
Let's do it.
So that each week I can post this. So we
Absolutely.
can keep your scoreboard here.
Yeah, we got a long summer ahead of us, so I think
It's going to be awesome, though.
we're gonna hit like 50 at one point and be like, we've been doing this for 50 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, they got at least 50 flavors.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, I could do the math, and somebody probably could. But by week 1 of the football season, I wonder how many weeks and how many ice creams we're gonna taste by then.
And
so.
you're going to be happy and
Yeah.
smiling
And
and
about 10
loving
pounds
life the whole
heavier.
time. Exactly. One other thing I wanted to mention. We've had a couple people text in. J84, thanks for your time, Tony. Enjoy working for Bluebell. He stole that from me because my first thought is, Bluebell's got him a gig. And someone asked where you're going, which Tony's not going to break his future life and all his endeavors here on the Louie Bellina Show presented by CC Electric, okay? But you did on Twitter announce, let's see, quote, career update. Thursday is my final day at the Statesman. I'm tired of working with Cedric. I've had enough of his stuff. I've decided it's time to move on. I've had enough. No, that wasn't a quote. I made most of that up. But anyway.
Yes, so yes, tomorrow, Thursday, is my last day at the Statesman. But I wanted to make sure this crystal clear. I am not going anywhere. It's going to be Texas A&M coverage 100%. Even more so, I think I'm going to crank it up to another level. When you go anywhere else, you want to kind of elevate and try to one up what you did before. So staying in the market, staying in the area. That announcement is coming very soon. If you appreciate my coverage and you listen, you read, whatever the case may be, please continue to do so. I promise you won't be disappointed. I just got to wait for some of the back end things to work out.
Yeah,
before I
when
can
it becomes
announce
official, you let people
That's it.
know and all that good
Yeah.
stuff.
And who doesn't like a little
hey,
drama?
what's your Twitter X so people that are that dying to know will know?
Tony_Catalina. Yeah, and I'm excited. I think this is, I'm very, very grateful for everything that the Statesman provided me. It actually provided me a chance to sit here and talk to you. So without, Cedric and some of these connections, like I wouldn't be in this room with you right now. But
You'd be so much happier.
no, I mean, listen, we'll see where it goes. I'm excited for the future. I hope everybody else is too. I promise you nothing's changing. It's only going to get better.
Is it true people are celebrating you're leaving? They're like, oh,
They might
finally,
be.
and
enough
of this.
Well,
and-
part of it too is like, that now I don't have Austin attached to me where they're going to be like, oh, it's this guy who's infiltrating from the other side. Now maybe if I'm on a different site, a different page, they'll be able to say like, listen, maybe this guy is from, he's in College Station right now and not from Austin.
Isn't that funny how people think you're infiltrating because of the Austin on there where they don't get you're just trying to do the greatest job possible?
Yeah.
You're not trying to do anything?
But it's funny though, because I talked to my mom and I have family in town this week, and I said, I try to understand it like, okay, I'm a diehard Red Sox fan. Like, imagine reading Red Sox coverage from like the New York Times, or reading like Yankees coverage from the Boston Globe. Like that, I can understand people's perspective that it's a little different. Now, I tried to win people over with my work and my effort and the value I bring, but I understand the early skepticism. Now I've been here almost 2 years. I hope you know that I'm not here a double spy, a double agent here. So
We're almost out of time. Not quite. A couple of things I want to hit you up with. Number one, back to the NFL draft, but not maroon and white. Your Cowboys, they took Caleb Downs, and it's being praised as probably, I will tell you this, Matt Miller, ESPN.com draft expert, and he's one of the three I actually think know what they're doing, had it as the single greatest pick of the draft. He ranked all 100 as the best pick, right?
yeah, no, he did. I think he was the best pick of the draft and his number 3 overall prospect. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's very rare that the Cowboys take somebody that I universally wanted from the jump. Like, personally, anybody who asked me, friends, I wanted Caleb Downs. I understood what the safety position. I understood that the Cowboys haven't had like a good one since like Darren Woodson, and so it's been that long since they've had like an impact safety. With that being said, the last time a Cowboys picked somebody that I truly was like, I need this guy, was like Des Bryant. That's and somebody I really, really wanted out of Oklahoma State at the time, and that worked out. So hopefully it works out in the same fashion, maybe a little better.
And it doesn't matter what the alphabet says. It's PFF, ESPN, CBS, you name it. The Cowboys had a top 3 or just top 5 at worst draft, period,
Right.
not just Caleb Downs. And that's kind of insane. It's not what they do.
No, I mean, the way they don't really use the free agency, they put themselves in the corner to have to draft well.
And they can't.
And it's like, the amount of, I mean, they like Malachi Lawrence from UCF. They think he can be a pass rusher. I mean, they got just different pieces. I mean, for me, if those two guys pan out, I think the rest is gravy, right? You got a safety who can start for the next 10 years, and you got a pass rusher who, is going to be a starter hopefully for the next 5 to 6 years. Like, you feel good about it. I mean, I think the offense is elite. It's one of the best offenses in the NFL, but if you can raise the floor of this terrible defense last year, then I think we're in a conversation to be a playoff team.
And, while we have some time left, Aggie baseball. Yeah. They go to Florida. They lose the Friday night game. One of your two most key players, Caden Sorrell, has 1 hit total. Your pitching was pretty good, but I'm not going to say overwhelmingly so.
Yeah.
And you're playing a top 25 team that sometimes plays like they're top 5 and other times like they're 35. But still, a top 25, top 10 RPI team, and you take 2 out of 3. While losing Friday night. Losing Friday night. That doesn't really add up or make a lot of sense overall.
No, I mean, so you look at the way they played so well leading up to that stretch. I mean, how many series they've won and just the way they've been kind of clicking. You felt like, when is the other shoe going to drop? Was it going to Florida playing a top 25 team who, is fighting, scrapping, is a good RPI team that has a lot to play for, and they lose that Friday one, you're like, all right, well, how do they respond here, right? Like, we've seen them respond well in other teams, but is this where they drop 2 in a row and lose a series? Like, do they get back down to earth? But no, they come out swinging. They figure out a way on Saturday. They find a way to battle.
It's called Aiden Sims. He is the way.
Kid's unbelievable, right? I mean, he really is a truly gifted talent on that mound. And then Sunday, it's like, go win the series on the road. I mean, if winning 1 in the SEC and the road is like you can feel decent about that, going taking 2 and winning the series, like, all right, we're the real deal. And I think that's what they've proven. Now, they got Auburn coming into town this weekend, and that's going to be a heck of a matchup. 7 seed versus an 8 seed. We'll find out what they're made of. Again, I mean, it's going to be like that until the tournament starts, SEC tournament starts, but every weekend it's going to be just another test.
What they did is what great teams do. Because, there's signs, right? Good teams respond. Like last night in the 6th, A&M had just rallied to finally get that thing back tied up. You're struggling with a Tarleton State team that beat Texas in the midweek. But, and then bam, you give up a 2 spot. And they answered right back in the bottom of 6 to get it tied up. Yeah. Good teams respond. But what they did against Florida is what great teams do.
Yeah, absolutely.
You lost Friday. One of your top 2 guys are struggling. And you just win the Saturday, Sunday on the road against a top 25 team. I keep adding that list up. That's a sign of a great, not good, a great team.
Absolutely. And like the pressure of losing that first one is a real thing, right? Like now, do you start pressing? Do you say, hey, we got to go and get the Saturday one, because if we don't, the series is lost. Now, what's Sunday look like? It could be a snowball effect for a team who doesn't have their head on their shoulders correctly. No, they answered it. They won Saturday, win the series. I mean, big time.
And when you're confident in what you're doing, you don't press. You just show up again, and you do what you've been doing that worked the whole time, as opposed to I need to win 2 games at once.
Yeah.
You just win that. Coaches say this, right? You just win that at bat, and then you win the inning, and you win that game, and then you show up the next day and win that game, as opposed to trying to win an entire series in one game, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I got text messages, all right?
Let's hear it, yeah.
And this is good stuff. Anthony in College Station said Dutch processed cocoa, this is for your ice cream, is treated with an alkaline solution to neutralize its natural acidity, resulting in a milder, darker cocoa.
Yeah. The darker I hit, that's something I can notice. It's a little darker, a little richer. So the alkaline, that's pretty fascinating. That's like the science of ice cream.
The darker, richer?
Yeah, I like that.
Jarrett texted and said, did Tony meet in a cemetery to secure his new job?
I have not traveled to Snook lately. No
Come
comment.
on, you're among friends here. No one's listening. No one will know. Did you?
There's nobody listening. We're not on the radio or anything like that.
No, so no Snook cemeteries.
Snook. I have not been in Snook. Can't confirm or deny any other meetings.
And you asked for flavor recommendations for the next Bluebell, right?
Absolutely.
I can't read all of them, but Bluebell Bride's Cake.
Okay.
Brookie's a la mode, which is cookie and brownies and vanilla. We did try that.
We did that one.
Yeah, that is one of the 5.
That's number 3 right now.
That's number 3 right now. Cherry vanilla.
Love it.
And chocolate chip cookie dough. But you just did chocolate. Maybe you want a break?
Yeah, I could. Yeah. You know what? Cherry vanilla might be the next move. Because we talked about being vanilla guys, but I love cherries. If you're asking me, like, whether it's real cherry, artificial cherry, cherry's my favorite fruit. I love, like, the maraschino cherries that you put on the top of an ice cream. Like, that might be the move right there.
Cherry vanilla soda?
I'm down for that.
All right. Tony, thank you so much. Always great to check in with you. And again, next Wednesday, let's do it again.
Let's do it again.
Peace, brother. When we return, I don't know what's next, but just tune in. We'll find out together. It's the Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric. They have free estimates. They have military and veteran discounts. They're CC Electric. It's the Louie Bellina Show, Wednesday on The Zone.
Visit zone1150.com and get the contact info for The Zone. Podcast of your favorite shows, listen live, and college football, plus A&M athletic headlines.
The Louie Bellina Show. Down the stretch we come, and still to come, the ticket booth, which is brought to you by Dixie Tire Company. It's going to open at 12:50. And look, about if it's 12:53 or 12:54 or 12:51, but the ticket booth is going to open right about 12:50, and the ticket booth is where you win tickets to all the places you want to be, and sometimes it's food to the places you want to eat, and today it's that food thing, and it's a $50 gift card to Rudy's Barbecue. All Zone Brian Broadcasting Prize eligibility rules, they apply. And at 12:50, thank you, Dixie Tire Company. You know, at Dixie Tire Company, they fix flats. They do tire and wheel rotations, tire pressure sensor repair. They can replace that tire pressure sensor. Dixie Tire Company can help. They're open Monday through Friday till 6. They're open Saturday till 1, and you can always give them a call at 775-TIRE. Yep, T-I-R-E. That's Dixie Tire Company. I got a programming service announcement. Programming service announcement. There's no Louie Bellina Show tomorrow. What? A lot of people are celebrating, rejoicing. Finally, their radio is free from my tyranny. But we have Astros baseball. They're going to wrap up their 3-game series against the Baltimore Orioles, and that is tomorrow, 11:05 pregame, 11:35 first pitch. 11:05 pregame, 11:35 first pitch. It is Astros, Baltimore, tomorrow, 11:05. So I actually will be here from 11 to 11:05. It is, I'm pretty sure officially that's the shortest Louie Bellina show in history. Astros baseball on The Zone. And we have Astros tonight too, don't we? Yeah. Astros are tonight, 5:35 first pitch. Astros baseball on The Zone. That is thanks to Kelly Bertozer. So just a heads up there. Tomorrow, no, I'm back Friday. Yes, I am. Let's jump to the rest of the world of sports. Dallas Stars. There's just something, well, I say there's something not happening. There's something wrong. They're loaded full of stars. See, they're the Dallas Stars, but that's not what I'm trying to say. And, oh, it's just heartbreaking to watch. Who's on fire for the Dallas Stars right now? Matt Duchene's playing really well. There's no consistency. They were up 2-1, yes.
Jason Robertson has had a goal in every game.
Jason Robertson. But, you know, a year ago, when I thought they were going to win it all, you know, Ratinen had back-to-back hat tricks. I don't think, has he scored in these playoffs yet? Who's the guy that can single-handedly carry them through? It's just very, you should never lose back-to-back games in a playoff series if you're a Stanley Cup champion, I kind of feel like. It just doesn't work that way. And they go up 2-1, and now they've lost back-to-back. They're on the brink of elimination. They're down 3-2. And last night, this was a great game. And they gave up the power play goal with like 30 seconds left in the second, and that's how you go in the locker room. And I kind of felt like whoever was going to score the first goal in the third period was going to win the game, and it was the Wild. They went up 3-1. Stars answered. That was your Jason Robertson goal. There you go. But at 3-1, with almost no time left, and Stars gave up a goal. It was the empty netter, I know, but it was so late. But that goal with 30 seconds left on the power play, and with all the firepower the Stars have had, how have they been so ineffective 5-on-5? It's just been frustrating, even in the wins, to watch. I don't know. To think they made they had no choice in the coaching change. It's not tied together. But after 3 straight Western Conference Finals, be eliminated in the first round, facing a team in Minnesota That's not a first-round opponent. We know that. We've already talked about that. In Minnesota, you want to talk about nightmares, and I hope I have this right, but in the past 12 years, the Minnesota Wild have been to the playoffs 10 times and never advanced. It's something insane like that. And if you knew how much Minnesota hated Dallas, how much the Wild fans hate the Stars, to end such a horrific curse, to go to the playoffs that many times, but never advance, to do it over the Stars' body, this will be quite delicious for them. So painful. Like I said, for me, this is going to be a long summer with the Stars if they can't pull out 2 straight. And the Astros, the season's over. Bye-bye. Long summer. Long summer indeed. Rest of the world of sports, everybody under the sun has now done updated NFL power rankings. And I'm not going to take a look at all of them. But if you're a Cowboys fan, I keep emphasizing how great their draft was. CBS Sports had them moving up 6 spots to number 8. So we can call this the preseason post-NFL draft power rankings. Number 8, had to move them up 6 spots. And, quote, they have totally revamped their defense, which they had to do. Now, the George Pickens franchise tag, problematic. You know, the Cowboys, it'll never be a time of peace. Pickens is the new, not a time of peace, but still totally revamped their D, and their D was stinkadelic. Texans moved up like 2 spots, even after the playoff run, winning. Did they win like 10 straight games in the regular season last year? But their end was so just brutal. They were 17 in the power rankings offseason. They moved up 2 spots to 15. And the vote of no confidence for the Texans offense is just so insane right now. Until proven otherwise, nobody is buying Texans. People love their defense. You know who the Houston Texans might be? Oklahoma football, where they have maybe the best defense in the NFL. But people are so down on Stroud and the offense as a whole that they don't care how elite the defense is. Might be the best defense in the NFL. And people say, hey, man, that Keelan Rutledge pick was phenomenal, but they just don't care. That's how down people are on C.J. Stroud. What I picked up on. The Detroit Lions, I think every Aggies, we don't mind rooting for them too team, down 3 spots to 18. And I keep seeing the one question, has their window closed? Has their window closed? I think people that saw the Lions window didn't understand that what made Detroit was not just the players. And it was Dan Campbell being Dan Campbell. And when he lost both his coordinators, that unit was kind of what Campbell has done this offseason to fix the unit so that allows him to be him is the answer. I think looking at just the roster is a bit of a mistake. He makes his players better, but without the 2 coordinators, I don't know if he was able to do what makes Lions football under Dan Campbell. Does that make sense? He wasn't allowed to do what he needs to do to inspire the troops. Because you remember their window, right, was like 2 years, and he just did crazy things where the charts were burnt, common NFL strategy not involved, and he wasn't allowed to do that. So I don't know. And yeah, they had personal issues, and they also had tons of injury issues too that have nothing to do with roster construction. So I don't know. I'm not willing to close the window. I guess it's a real question, but still. Steelers pop up at 21. The reign of mediocrity will continue because they hired such a block, the head coach. Tomlin steps down. Here's your chance. Mike McCarthy. No! Top 5 teams. Jaguars 5. That's just, I know they went 13-4, but for me to grasp it, I can't. Broncos 4, Bills 3, Rams 2, and the Seahawks number 1. Bottom 3 teams are easy. 3 teams, I'll give you 3 guesses. Browns 30, Dolphins 31, Cardinals 32. That's your Arch Manning sweepstakes teams, matter of fact. Cardinals 32, Dolphins 31, Browns are 30. Rest of the world of sports. Yesterday, game 1 of a 3-game series. Baltimore 5, Astros 3. That's in Baltimore. Christian Walker, couple of hits, 2 for 4. Yonder Diaz, couple of hits, 2 for 4. Pitching. So you had the reliever Tang, who was doing fantastic. So they go, he's relieving so well, let's make him a starter. And of course, 3-2, he wasn't very good. Ryan Weiss, who is so confused, he doesn't know what he's doing. In relief, he wasn't very good. 3 2/3, 3 runs. I don't think you can just go, well, you're pitching so good in relief, now it's time for you to start. Weiss was a starter that they messed with his whole routine, made him a reliever. He can't do either now. It's just a mess. That's no other way to say it. Game 2 is tonight, 5:35 first pitch here on The Zone. 11:50 a.m., 93.7 FM, Astros baseball, thanks to Kelly Bertdozer. I keep looking at the Astros rotation, and so last night, as I just said, they gave it to, my brain hurts just trying to remember because there's so many pitchers, but they gave it to Tang because he was doing too good in the pen to leave him there when they need both relievers and starters, but actually, I guess last night, realistically, was a bullpen by committee game that didn't work out, if you want to be honest. But Lambert, McCullers, Burrows, Arrighetti, and Tang is the current rotation. Woo! Ooh, sorry, I got chills. It's rough out there. Yankees 3, Rangers 2. Rangers have lost 3 straight, including 2 straight to the Yankees. Josh Young, 2 for 4 with an RBI. Jacob deGrom was brilliant, 6-1, struck out 5, 3 hits. He was phenomenal. Bullpen bled a little bit, 2 runs in 3 innings, but, when you lose the game 3-2, scoring 2 runs makes it tough. Every game in this losing streak's been close. They lost 2-1 to the A's on Sunday, 4-2 and 3-2. We know the storyline with the Rangers, and it's been the storyline since opening day. The problem's not the pitching. Jacob deGrom was brilliant. They're just offensive woes, offensive struggles. The offense is hurting. The end. That's the storyline, period, for the Texas Rangers. I'm going to grab a timeout, come back. The ticket booth will open thanks to Dixie Tire Company. We got to wrap things up on a Wednesday. It is the Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric on The Zone.
You're listening to Aggie Land's home for Aggie baseball, the Astros, the Bombers, and more. The Zone. 11:50 a.m. and 93.7 FM.